So let's talk about the Patriots. They've been relatively quiet this offseason. They did trade for wide receiver Davante Parker, but there's news that they're not done making moves at that position. Mize, I know you got the story right there.
Yeah, Nick. And if the Patriots want to capitalize on the rookie contract of Mac Jones, which by all accounts, if we've seen other rookie contracts around the league, the length of it doesn't matter because they'll want a new contract any day now. But they need to go in all in right now. And that doesn't seem traditionally like a big Patriots move. They want to wait for the draft, maybe draft some young guys, build them in, get some older free agent veterans, bring them in, just kind of scrap together. They've never been known for going after huge wide receiver play until getting Davante Parker, which I guess is a bigger name that they have grabbed. And I think this is all due to the new player personnel executive that they've signed, and Matt Groh. And in his first ever press availability, he gives a quote that shows you what the Patriots are all about right now. He said, "You can't just sit around, wait, and hope to get one of these guys in the draft." And by these guys, he means an impact wide receiver. You've got to be proactive. You have to go out and get one of them. So what he's referring to here is free agency and another big wide receiver signing potentially for the New England Patriots. How does that make you feel, Nick?
So first and foremost, credit to Groh and the Patriots for recognize they really, really suck at drafting wide receivers,
Yes.
right? Chad Jackson a few years ago, Florida comes to mind. You've got
N'Keal
Harry. Yeah, that's the big one. He's terrible. So credit to them for recognize that they suck there and not to focus there in the draft and go free agency or trade, obviously with the Parker situation. Look, there's a lot of names around that I think are good fits. I think the favorite guy that jumps out of me, just because it's the Patriots, it's Cole Beasley, formerly of the Buffalo Bills and Dallas Cowboys. What do you think of New England Patriot wide receivers? Do you think small, quick, probably about 5'9", 5'8", won't beat you over the top, slot receiver, 5-yard quick outs, 5-yard quick slants, real gym rat, real hard worker. That's what Cole Beasley is. It just kind of fits the Patriots.
Yeah, lunch pail kind of guy, first in, last out. Every generic term that you can give about a small slot receiver. But I think that's a great one. Cole Beasley. And then the other guys they like, they've got the Randy Mosses, the big dynamic pass catchers. Those are some of the best Patriots years when they snuck Randy Moss in there. And a guy that reminds me of is like an Odell Beckham Jr. out there. OBJ is available. He's a big dynamic pass catcher. He can make all these circus one-handed catches. A guy that could really help out Mac Jones. He's younger on the free agent scale of the guys that are left out there. So I think that could be a pretty big signing for them as well. Is there anyone else you think they might be looking at?
Well, so Beckham's interesting because he had a lot of good things to say about Belichick. I guess him and Bill Belichick are part of a mutual admiration society. But here's a name that I think is pretty interesting to me, and it's linking to Beckham, right? It's Jarvis Landry. Because he's a guy who's upset. He's had some injury issues in Cleveland. He's cheaper than Beckham because he's not as good, frankly, to be honest. But he's a guy that's tired of the losing. He's tired of dysfunction. Landry in Cleveland reminds me a lot of, how about this, Darrelle Revis with the Jets before coming to the Patriots and wanting to win, maybe a short-term 2-year deal, really team-friendly, really cap-friendly to come in and help the Patriots win. I kind of see that as Jarvis Landry as that kind of perfect mold for him to slide in. And when you think about the dollars here, the Patriots don't have a lot of cap space, but they still would have to probably cut N'Keal Harry. I know that sucks. I don't know how they're ever going to recover from that.
They might not be able to do that.
Yeah. And then probably Nelson Aguilar, which again, that's, oh boy, no one's going to be left to play. But I think they cut those two guys. They get cap space. I think Beasley probably is the more easy fit, but I think Landry's a quality player that can go in. Do you have anybody else that you think would maybe jump in?
When you say Jarvis Landry, I say OBJ. I think to myself, why not both? Bring them back. Yeah. Get the reunion back. Imagine Parker, OBJ, and Landry. That's a star-studded cast right there. But let's tack one more name onto the list right here. A guy you don't hear much about because he was kind of quiet last year. An older veteran who's an excellent player, has been one of the top wide receivers in the NFL for a very long time. Julio Jones. Maybe the Patriots can squeeze the juice out of Julio for the last few years of his career, and he gets to be back at a true contender and redeem himself for the horrible horrible Super Bowl loss to the Patriots, he can be on the other side of the ball. He doesn't ever have to experience it again. So I think that's also another intriguing grab that the Patriots might try to get at.